That's fine. I'll be honest, this looks a mess. These shimmers are so buttery I could scream. Yeah. Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. That was super sweet of you. Oh my gosh, I feel so glamorous in this outfit today, you guys. This is actually a robe. It's not a shirt, surprise. It's a robe. My boyfriend got this for me from Savage X Fenty a couple years ago, and I've been wearing it a lot lately. Not out because it very much looks like a bathrobe. It's got a little bathrobe string on it, but I've been wearing it in a lot of my Instagram photos lately because, as you guys know, I'm in a green era. I'm in specifically a mint era, but I am also very much living for greens lately. You know, I've been hearing people say lately that green is a good like September color because obviously we get to October and it's orange, baby. October is the orange month. I feel like November is kind of like, you know, red. Well, I guess December is red too, but September is a good month for green because it's like a good in-between fall color, you know? It's like that's kind of what September's about. She's taken us into fall. She's taken us into my favorite type of year, and I love her so much for that. All of this to say, I'm feeling very glamorous in my greens today. But that's not what this video is about. You did not click on this video to listen to me explain what color goes with each month. No, you clicked on this video because you, like me, have an interest in me doing a palette bingo with the Beauty Bay Wilderness palette. And also, this video is a collab, which is so freaking exciting. I'm doing this video in collaboration with the lovely Katie Marie here on YouTube. If you are a lover of indie makeup, if you are a lover of eyeshadow palettes in general, if you are a lover of indie makeup eyeshadow palettes specifically, you are gonna love Katie so much. One, you're gonna love Katie so much because she's super sweet and I really like listening to her. She seems like a very genuine person, but I think you'll also love her makeup content because she does really good thorough reviews. She does a great job at comparing and contrasting different indie makeup eyeshadow formulas, so I find her videos super helpful, and I also just like watching her. You know, it kind of feels like listening to a friend on FaceTime, and I absolutely love that in a YouTuber, so you guys should totally check Katie out. But this video is the brainchild of Katie because she does a ton of palette bingos, and this is my first time ever doing a palette bingo, so I'm a noob. Excuse me if I make any mistakes, but I think Katie explained the instructions to me really well. So basically what we did for each other was we both did a random number generator between 1 and 20 because that's how many shades are in the lovely Beauty Bay Wilderness palette, and we emailed the results to each other. So I picked 5 random numbers on a random number generator and I emailed them to Katie in 5 separate emails, and she did the same thing for me. That way we both couldn't like think ahead about it. Look, you know, we're keeping it spontaneous, keeping the Sagittarius energy alive in this video. So I am going to be opening those emails live on camera with you, and then we are going to be creating a look together using the Beauty Bay Wilderness palette. And oh my gosh, I can't wait to see what look she came up with. I bet it's so cute, and I can't wait to see what look I come up with. So if that sounds like a topic that is interesting to you and you want to see me do a palette bingo with the Beauty Bay Wilderness palette, then I encourage you to please subscribe and keep on watching. It's coming at you right now. Alright, so what Katie typically does in her palette bingo videos is choose all of the shades first, then take some time to brainstorm, and then put a look together. So I'm gonna do what Katie does. I saw Katie Marie pick her palette bingo shades before she put the look together, so I'm gonna pick my palette shades before I put the look together. Do you get it? It's like Mean Girls. It's like Katie Heron, except she's not mean at all. Okay, so the first shade that Katie has chosen for me on her random number generator is 6. Let's see, what is number 6 on the Wilderness palette? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my gosh, Forest. This has been one of my favorite shades to play with so far. Oh, that's so exciting. It's like a nice deep minty evergreen. Ugh, I love that shade. Thank you so much, Katie. Ooh, and Katie also does a swatch. She always swatches it on her hand when she does that too. So let me do a little swatch here. Okay, so this is our shade number 6. It's called Forest, super pretty. And it's a matte, by the way, if you couldn't tell. Okay, now let's see what shade number 2 is. 14. Okay, 14 is gonna be 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, marigold. Okay, that's fun. A little mustard and evergreen moment. I wouldn't normally put these two colors together because they tend to stick like within color families, but I think this is gonna be really fun. And this is another matte, so hopefully we get some shimmers soon too. Let's see what the third shade is. Okay, so shade number 3 is 16. So we just picked shade number 14, so that'll be 15, 16. Oh my gosh, another another matte, but in a totally different color family. We got the bright red here. This is exciting. I've worn this red once before, and it's, are you kidding me? It's a beautiful red. The shade is called Poppy, and it is just like a poppy red. Are you kidding? A poppy in the sense like the flower poppy, but also poppy because it's poppy. You know, it's popping out. It's poppy red. And yeah, I think this is gonna work out really well. I know I keep saying that after all of them, but that's because I like words of affirmation when I'm doing things. So let's move on to shade number 4. Okay, shade number 4 is number 9. Let's see, what is number 9? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yay, we got our first shimmer. Oh my gosh, and how exciting. It's this beautiful green shade, Moss. I have worn this one before. It's a super pretty green shimmer, and I'm excited to have it in here because I feel like it'll go well with the first shade we chose, Forest, that like matte green. They're kind of in similar green families. These shimmers are so buttery I could scream. But I really like the shimmer formula, and I really like this shade. So now let's see what our 5th shade is. Okay, shade number 5 is 12, so that's gonna bring us to 5, 10, 11, 12. Okay, another matte. I guess I only have one shimmer for the whole look, but you know what? That's fine. I sometimes like an all matte look, but it's not even all mattes. It's all mattes and one shimmer, but that shimmer is a big star, so it's okay. And this shade is called Leaf, which is like the same color as my robe here, so I'm actually really excited about that. Wow, okay, let's take a look at this whole color story I got here. I'll zoom you in a little bit. Here are the colors that I'm gonna be working with on my eyes today. 5 colors feels like a lot. I was kind of hoping one of these would be like a brow bone color or an inner corner highlight, but it doesn't look like I got any of those. So this is gonna be fun. This is definitely gonna be a challenge for me, and I'm excited to take on the challenge. So let me take a couple seconds to just regroup, to gather my thoughts, to try to think of some ideas with this, and then we'll come back and do an eye look together. Alright, as you can see, I've done a lot of musing, I've done a lot of toiling, thinking over what I'm gonna do with these colors, and I think I have a plan. As always, I don't really have a plan. I have like a vague idea in my head, but let's just zoom in and let's see what happens when I go to put these colors on my eyes. Alrighty, so the first color I'm going to dip into is Marigold, this beautiful mustard yellow, and I think I want to stick that on the inner portion of my eyes. I don't have any inner corner highlight sort of a shade, and this is technically the lightest shade. I say this is the lightest shade, but this is more of like a mustardy brown, so maybe that was a mistake on my part. I'm not quite sure, but something I remember about this Beauty Bay palette, which I love this palette. I mean, if you've seen my Get Ready With Me of me using this, you know I love this palette. I think the mattes are super buttery and easy to blend, but one thing I will say about this palette is that the mattes do look a little deeper on the skin than they do in the pan, so that can totally be a good thing. You know, I love a good pigmented shade. I think it's just good to be aware of that when you're going into it. Alrighty, going in on my other eye here. What palettes have you guys been enjoying lately? The Beauty Bay Wilderness palette is definitely the most recent palette that I have purchased myself. I did just get a palette in the mail from Midas Cosmetics, which I don't know if it's launched yet, but it's a collaboration palette, and it's a really pretty neutral palette, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna do a video on it just because I'm not really a neutral person, but I'm wondering what new palettes you guys have been enjoying lately. Have you bought anything recently? Is there anything I desperately need to add to my collection? Please do let me know. I love eyeshadow palettes, and even though I already have a ton of them, you know, if you tell me there's a good one, I might just buy it. So let me know what you're using right now. Alright, I'm feeling pretty good about how that mustard is looking so far. So now let's dip into our next shade. I want to go into the shade Leaf, and I'm just gonna put that right next to our mustard shade, and hopefully those look good together. I'm gonna try to blend them into each other a little bit. If you haven't caught on yet, my thought process is that I take all of the like-ish colors and I kind of try to do a little ombre thing, you know, so they all go well together, like all of the mustards into the greens, into the minty greens, and then I want to do the red as like a pop of color on the bottom, so hopefully it doesn't look too Christmassy. That's my only worry, is like, not that I don't love Christmas, absolutely love the Christmas time, love the time of year where it snows, but I'm trying to give you fall energy right now, okay? So let's just cross your fingers that it doesn't end up being Christmassy. And if it does, oh well, it's Christmas in September. Okay, just blending these two shades together here. And if this is your first time watching my channel, if you're new to my channel and you're coming to hear from Katie's channel, hi, hello, my name is Giovanna. It's so nice to meet you. I'm literally so happy that you're here, I could scream. But just note that my eye looks usually don't come together until the end. So if you're looking at this like, geez, Katie wanted to collab with this girl, she doesn't know what she's doing. One, don't say that about Katie. She's very, very smart and cool. But also this, I'll pull it together. So don't you worry, okay? It's gonna look bad until it looks good. And in the end, it will look good. Alrighty, so as you can see, I went ahead and took that shade Leaf a little bit further out to almost my outer corner here. So I covered a little more space than the mustard shade, but that's just because I'm gonna be going in with my one shimmer shade Moss later, and I kind of want to like cover it a little bit. But for now, I'm gonna be going into my last matte shade, which is the shade Forest. So I'm gonna put that on like the actual outer part of my eye, and then hopefully the shimmer shade will like melt them all together. You know, at least that's the goal. At least that's what I'm manifesting right now. So we're gonna dip into this beautiful minty evergreen shade Forest, and I am just going to stamp that on the outer corner here. That's usually what I like to do with my eye looks, is I like to stamp them on and blend them later. You know, stamping and blending at the same time, ugh, too much work. I'm tired. But you know what? This look is like gonna turn out. I was really most worried that this shade in particular, Forest, was just gonna like not mix well with the other greens. I don't know why. I felt like, you know, it's kind of a blue toned green. I don't think they'll go well together. But I think the shades showing up deeper, like I mentioned earlier, is really playing to my benefit in this situation, because I feel like the depth is like making it work more, you know? Depth is making it work. Also, what the heck am I doing over here? It's okay, I have Q-tips, I can fix this. It's hard to multitask when you're doing something challenging, but I do love chatting with you guys, so it's all good. I hope you're chatting back with me. Do you talk to the computer when I ask questions? Because I do that when I watch other people's videos. If you ask me a question in a YouTube video, I will answer out loud to you, the person who cannot currently hear me. But if you do that too, that's really cool. That's really a sign of a cool person right there for sure. Alrighty, so now we're gonna move on to our last shade, which is my one and only shimmer shade, and that shade is gonna be the shade Moss here. You can see where I've dug my finger into this bad boy, because I really like this shade, because this shade just truly feels wet. Like, it feels so buttery. Look at the dimension. It's just so nice. So my plan is I'm going to take this shade and use it to merge these two shades together, and I'm hoping it's really gonna tie things together. And I did go ahead and put on my Pixie Epoxy glitter primer already. Let's see. Okay, yes, sigh of relief. I think everything's gonna be fine with this one. I really feel like this green shade is just gonna tie everything all together. You know what? I haven't used my last shade. I think I said last shade before. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that at all. I do still have my bright red shade to use, so hopefully things still go well for me. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm feeling decently about the way this is looking so far. I'll be honest, this looks a mess. Okay, friends, I think what I need to do is spend some quality time with a Q-tip here for a second, do a little bit of cleaning up before we come back and do the lower lash line, because right now things have gotten a bit out of control. But I'm confident I can pull it together, so let me just go ahead and clean things up real quick. Ugh, don't you just love Q-tips? Look how much better it looks. I know I didn't do any sort of like blending out on the edges or anything, but you know what? I decided with this look that I want it to be a bit more graphic, you know, as I often go for. But I like the way it's looking now, so now we can actually move on to our last shade in the palette, and that is of course the shade Poppy, the bright, the beaming red shade. So how do we think this is gonna look on my lower lash line? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? I think it's gonna look great. So let's just go ahead and see. All right, let's go ahead and just put this on the lower lash line. And my plan is, if it ends up looking really bad, I can always just go over it with that mustard shade and make it more of an orange business, because for some reason orange is like less intimidating to me. But you know what? I don't think it looks that bad so far. It actually kind of looks awesome, I think. I was just so worried it was gonna look super Christmassy because I have so many greens on, but I think the mustard is actually what's saving us here. I think if I just had green on my lids, then the red would definitely make it look Christmassy, but I feel like because I got the mustards going on, it's kind of what's saving this look here. Okay, mustard. This is an absolutely gorgeous red here. I really like this red. I'm gonna clean this up. I don't know why. I'm having trouble multitasking today, like doing my makeup on camera while talking to you guys. I feel like my brush is just kind of slipping all over the place. I'm gonna try going in with a clean brush here and just trying to blow that red out a little bit. You know, when I first started putting it on, I thought I wanted to keep it really close to the lash line, but clearly this is a bold look. I say we just give in to the bold and go all out with it and blow it out a little bit. Yeah, okay, now I'm giving Halloween vibes for sure. Oh, I love it. Bring it in a little further here into the inner corner. Why not? Just go all out. Now I'm gonna go ahead and sharpen that. I kind of feel like I'm sort of giving that reverse cat eye vibes here, except maybe the red would have to go further out if I did that. But you know what? It's a vibe. It's certainly a vibe. I'm gonna go meet up with my pals, the Q-tips again, clean this up a little more, and add some lashes so we can see how the look looks all together. And I'll be back right now. Ooh, what do you think of my finished look? I love how it turned out. Once I added the lashes, you know, I feel like I'm giving you a little bit of a sultry vibe, dare I say. You know, with a little bit of the graphic eyeshadow mixed with the red lowered lash line and my big lashes I got going on here. These are from Kiss Lashes. They're my lashes, but better lashes, which my lashes don't look anything like this, but I do really like them, and I really like how the look turned out. As you guys probably saw many times throughout this video, I got a little nervous. I got a little bit nervous that it was not gonna turn out, but I definitely feel like it turned out in the end. Let's zoom in even freaking further so you can really see this eye look. I feel like all of the greens mix really nicely together, and I would never think to put green and red together just because, like I've said a million times, I was so afraid it was gonna look too Christmassy, and I'm not ready to do Christmas looks yet. I haven't even done my Halloween looks yet, but I do feel like it turned out in the end, and especially with the tone of this red, I think what really helped me is that this is like a true poppy red, you know? It's not like a brick red or anything. I don't know, I feel like it's not the most Christmassy of reds. I feel like it's got like a pinky undertone to it that makes it work. I don't know too much about color theory, but all I know is that these colors are working together, and I really like the way the look turned out. So with that, that brings us to the end of my first palette bingo. Oh my gosh, baby's first palette bingo, and I'm so happy that I got to do it with the Palette Bingo Pro Katie Marie. I cannot wait to see Katie's look that she created with this. I hope that I picked her some good colors with that random number generator, and I know she's gonna work it out. Like I said, Katie's the Palette Bingo Pro. I have watched palette bingos of her where I was like, ooh, how is she gonna make those colors work? But she always makes it work. So I'm sure Katie's video turned out super great. I highly recommend you go check out that video right now. It will be linked down below on the screen everywhere. Go show Katie some love. I thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. That lets YouTube know to recommend it to other like-minded folks who might like the video as well. And if you're new to my channel, I'd love to have you subscribe. I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I talk about a lot of indie makeup. I talk about graphic liner. I also have a new series on my channel where I review early 2000s movies while transforming myself into the main character of those movies. I just did a Cinderella story a couple days ago, and that was a real trip. That was so much fun, and I love watching early 2000s movies, so I'll link that playlist down below if you're interested as well. And check out my description box for all of the other makeup on my face today. Also in my description box, I'll have a bunch of Black Lives Matter resources to support the Asian American community, and resources to support the LGBTQ+ community. So please check out those links if you haven't yet. And I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!